welcome to Sunday
Sunday
night
at
it.
8.
Episode
Episode what?
24.
Wow.
It's quite a few episodes.
24.
It's quite a lot.
It is. That's
Lockdown's been happening for a very long time, this whole thing.
Yeah, that's kind of nearly
Yeah.
half a year.
Yeah.
I just had to work that out quite quickly.
That was very well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thanks.
Good job.
My name's Hannah.
My name's Johnny.
And yeah, so welcome. This is church. This is church for people who don't normally go to church. So if you are someone who has never been to church before, or you go on kind of high days and holidays or whatever, then this is the place for you. We are really glad that you're here and joining us. But also, if you do normally go to church, then you're always welcome as well. So what we try and do, and sometimes we do this in a slightly smoother than others, we try and have so as many of the main elements of a church service as we can realistically do on Facebook Live from our lounge. So we have a bit of chat, a bit of chance for us all to get to know one another, and we have some singing that Johnny leads us in. We've got a fly. Maybe with a vice presidential election debate, with a fly going to land on one of our heads. That's very
on the silver bits.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Don't go there. We have some singing, and we also have a little Bible talk. We pray, and we try and get it all in. But we're really chilled out. We're very relaxed. Things don't have to be super formal for church. So you're very welcome.
And do like this post, do like our page as well, if you've come across it just for the first time. Do comment. We love it when people say hello, and we'll kind of give it a little shout out as well. And do share the video so that others can see it. And do comment and do all of those things as well if you're viewing afterwards as well. We know there's quite a few people that watch this kind of on replay or after another show that
they watch
that they're watching. Do comment as well. Do say hi. Yeah,
that would be great. And if you say hello, we'll try and say hello back. Sometimes we accidentally miss a comment, so sorry if we've missed you before, but do say hi on the comments, because then we can say hello to you and we feel a little bit more like we're together. What question?
Okay. Oh, I thought we were saying hello.
Oh, well, we can say hello. Yeah, yeah.
Fine, let's do the question. Let's do
on the script it says say hello.
Say hello, Hannah. Say hello.
Well, hello.
I don't know. You wrote it.
Let's do some say hello.
Okay, great.
Okay. Well, why don't we tell people the question? Then
let's tell the question.
Okay. So every week we do a question.
There is an actual plan.
Every week we do a question or a little kind of starter for 10. And this week we thought we would ask you if you've got anything that you would like to celebrate, and we can share it and we can join in your celebrations. So if you have got anything, if it's really small or if it's really big, then just pop it in the comments and we will celebrate with you, and everyone else will celebrate with you as well. We'd all be really pleased to hear your news.
Do you have anything to celebrate?
I feel it's mixed. I guess mine is probably celebrating being back in church on a Sunday morning. But it's a really weird thing being back in church, because you're kind of back, but you're also like everyone's wearing a mask basically.
Yeah.
And that's really weird. And everyone's spaced out. So all the things that I love about church, which is, hugging people, sitting next to each other, whispering during the sermon, all of those things.
It's weird when you're normally preaching.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I still quite like that, kind of just all of that, seeing if people are laughing at your jokes. You can't do any of that. So
they weren't doing that before COVID.
No, that's true. I am celebrating though, because it is lovely to be together. Shall we say hello?
I would like to celebrate.
Oh yeah, what's yours?
Thanks for
sorry about that.
Thanks for asking. I'd like to say Alpha. We're doing Alpha at the moment, which is like a course where you can kind of ask questions about Jesus and God and just chat and
make friends.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think I don't remember how many people you said was on it.
I can't-
13?
We've got
Something
2
like that?
courses. I think
So-
it's 12 between 2
12,
courses.
12,
I think.
okay. And it's just, yeah,
Like
really
not
fun.
as in starter and main course, as in 2 courses happening at different times.
Yeah.
We
But
don't
yeah,
do
that's
2
really good.
Yeah.
It's quite fun. It's always kind of a highlight of the week, really.
Yeah. We always
I
come away
really
buzzing,
enjoy
don't we, from Alpha?
it. Yeah, it's good fun.
Should we say hello?
Yeah.
Hi, Jackie.
We say hello to Frankie.
Frankie said hello to Jackie.
Yeah, he said hello to Jackie.
No, he
not to
has
us.
later. Look,
All
he
right.
has
Oh,
later,
good.
yeah. There's quite a bit of a conversation between Jackie and Frankie saying hi
Good,
to each
that's
other.
fine. That's fine.
So we'll skip down. Hi, Helen.
Hi to Babs.
Hi.
Have we changed our clock?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
That is great.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've literally just moved one to one room and one from the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. We're going big.
If we could show you the lounge, we've got colour blobs on the wall, everything. Just trying to sort it out, but you don't need to know about that. Suffice to say, yes, we have changed our clock.
There's a plan.
There is a plan.
Hi to Sue.
Hi, oh, you both.
I can't remember who was doing it.
You do, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Helen.
Frankie says he'd recommend Alpha and Learning to Grow, which is
Which
a
is
couple of
another
our
thing.
different online courses at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. They're both just so good.
They are. Hi to Megan.
Hi, Megan. We've missed you. It's good to have you with us. Hi, Joshua. I don't know whose turn it is. Anyway, if you have something that you'd like to celebrate, then just pop it in the comments, because that's our question for the evening is, what would you like to celebrate? And we would love to celebrate with you. So yeah, I'm going to swivel you around a little bit so that you can...
You would kind of think that after 24 episodes, this would just be really smooth.
Yeah. I think we're... Yeah. I'm swiveling.
Okay. I will be singing. Morning star rises in the new day dawns. Let the King of Heaven come. Those who walk in darkness will see a great light. Let the King of Heaven come. You are good, and you reign. Let your glory shine around.
got some things to celebrate. That's exciting. If you're just joining us, you're so welcome. You might have found that if you follow all the groups in Google that you've been slightly spammed because I've just shared the thing with all the groups. But anyway, we are Sunday night at 8. We're church for people who don't normally go to church. I'm Hannah and
I'm Johnny.
This is Johnny, and we are asking you if you've got anything to celebrate. So if you have, then please do pop it in the comments and we'll share it with each other and we'll all celebrate it together. Do you want to do Jackie's?
Great. Oh yeah, sorry, we've gone straight to that.
Yeah.
Jackie says, I would like to celebrate and give thanks to God for the continued improvement in my mother's health. Oh, fantastic. It's been a long road, but she's finally starting to go
That's so good.
to get out of the house and had fish and chips at Hornsey last week. Oh, that's amazing.
That's so good. You're a lovely mum. I'm so glad I met her. She's an absolute trooper. I think this might be to you, Alex's comment.
Hello, Ed.
I think generally you're known as Ed Sheeran right now.
I'm okay with that. You can find me on Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
Hi, Alex. Good to have you with us.
Hi to Julie.
There we go. That's a bit of conversation.
Yeah. I think it's like, where was Joshua? Where were you,
Joshua? Oh yeah, let's share Sue's as well.
Oh yeah.
So last week, last week we were sharing anything that you wanted prayer for. And if you have got something you want to pray about, then again, whop it in the comments and say, could you pray about this? And if it's private, then just send us a message and we will do that. But anyway, last week Sue said that she'd love to pray for Parkside Kids Club, after school club, because they didn't have anywhere to meet. And so we did. And Sue is just sharing that she'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who prayed for Parkside Kids Club last week. We had some positive developments this week. God at work in Goole. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really fantastic news. It's, Sue was talking about it today in church and just said how God was moving in that, and it seemed very unlikely, and actually God did something, which is always really exciting.
Yeah, it's really good. Woo. So anything else to celebrate, and anything you want us to pray about, then just pop it in the comments and we'll do that a bit later. So a couple of things that we're gonna let you know about. First of all is kids church. So it used to be known as Sunday school, but we call it kids church. If you have got any kids aged 3 to 11 that you want to join our Sunday school, then bring them along on a Sunday. You can register them
to join our Sunday school. You just said.
Did I just say Sunday school? To join our kids club. Kids church. What's it called? Kids church. Rachel is our kids and families worker, and you can find her on Facebook. But you can bring your kids along, bring them before 10:30 to register them, and from 10:15, just bring them along to the hall opposite the church, and the nice thing is you can drop them off, and then you can come to church, and then you can pick them up. So that's nice. as parents of a 4-year-old. But yeah, if you do want to bring your kids to that, then they'd be so welcome.
And do tell other people about that as well. That you may know some other people who have kids that may be kind of interested in that. I know that we sometimes come across some people are always like, oh yeah, we'd love to know if the church is doing something for kids. Well, we're finally in the position to do that. So yeah, do mention it.
Our 4-year-old loves it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a church service without talking about giving. Let's just take a moment. But actually, the church relies on people giving, kind of like as they would to charity. So do consider that if you kind of come along to this, or you're involved in church, it'll be, have a little look at our website. It's got a little giving section. You can see which ways you can give. You can donate to the life of the church, and just how to keep the church kind of blessing the town, really.
We're really grateful if you do give. We try really hard to not know who gives what. So if we don't thank you personally, it's because we try really hard to keep out of specifics about giving. But yeah, we're really, really grateful. Great. Shall I do a little talk?
Good idea.
We are looking at the character of David in the Bible. So David is in the Old Testament, which is the first big chunk of the Bible, and he was one of the kings of Israel, which is the Jewish nation. David did not have a good relationship with Saul, who was the first king. David was the second king, and they didn't get on at all. Saul was very jealous of David. David was one of those slightly golden child, really. He was really good at music. He was really good at defeating. Now I've just got to interrupt to celebrate Charlotte's thing. Charlotte, we're so thrilled to hear that you're celebrating getting a new job. That's really exciting.
That's really good.
I have to say that, otherwise I'm going to be distracted.
We were praying for that.
We were praying for that. That's really great. So David, yeah, he's a golden boy. I bet he'd have been really good at football. He's very good at defeating giants and playing the lyre and all the other things that people did in those days.
Not being a liar.
Not being a liar. No, he wasn't a liar.
A musical instrument, the lyre.
He wasn't the musical instrument, the lyre, the harp or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, David. Saul, who was king, was really jealous of David. People writing songs about David. They were loving David. Saul didn't like it at all. Anyway, so at this point in the story, David is running away from Saul. And he runs to this cave. I'm only going to talk about a couple of verses with David in this cave. So David escaped to the cave of Adullam. When his brothers and all his father's house heard of it, they went down there to him. Everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was discontented gathered to him, and he became captain over them. Those who were with him numbered about 400. So David has run away from Saul, who's chasing after him, and he gets to this cave, and he finds himself. Suddenly, you can imagine the scene. He's kind of sitting in this cave, and then his family come in, so he's kind of talking to them, and then you can imagine someone coming to the door of the cave, the entrance of the cave, and it's kind of this guy who's really distressed, who's pressurized, who feels really stressed out, and David says, come in and sit down. And then there's somebody else who comes in who is laden with debt. They haven't been able to pay off all their bills, so they're really worried. We all know what it feels like to get to the point where we're worried about finances, but some of us might know what it feels like to really be in debt. And so these people are coming along really burdened with the concern about finances. And then David looks up and someone else is coming to the entrance of the cave, and it's someone who is discontent. So that might be somebody who has been wronged or mistreated, and they're quite bitter. So someone who, perhaps has been just kind of like talked about at work in a way that wasn't true. And so they're just like, everyone's got me wrong. Everyone misunderstands me. So that's the kind of person who was coming into the cave with David. And what happens is David is there, and more people are coming to the cave. And basically, they're people who are struggling in their lives as they are, and who have heard about David, and who see that there is a cause to fight for with David. And so they go and find David and make him into their captain. So David kind of like suddenly has this army of people, but it's not an army of the best trained men. It's not an army of elites. He hasn't done trials for this army. He basically has gathered this kind of motley crew of people who are distressed, in debt, or discontented. So you can imagine, I can't imagine what it must be like. It's kind of basically a lot of the, almost like the dropouts, or the ones who want to kind of change the course of their lives, or who are struggling in one way or another. And I was thinking about David and all these guys sitting in the cave, and then they kind of plot and plan and work out how to become this army. And I was thinking about how David is often seen as a kind of as a king who Jesus follows in David's footsteps. So we know that Jesus was perfect. David wasn't perfect, but Jesus is often called a son of David, and he is kind of born. He's a descendant of David, and so there are a lot of similarities that kind of come up in the story. And I was thinking about this moment in Jesus's life when he starts calling people to himself. And it's one of my favourite bits in the stories about Jesus. And he's walking along and he sees this guy called Matthew, who is a tax collector sitting at a tax booth. Tax collectors were really, really seriously unpopular, as you can imagine. They were not only unpopular because they collected taxes, and who wants to pay taxes, but also because they used to skim off the top and basically steal from people as well. And Jesus looks at this guy Matthew, who's essentially a bit of a crook, and he says to Matthew, "Follow me." And Matthew got up and followed him. And then Jesus sat at dinner in the house. So they didn't just walk off. He stayed around at Matthew's house, and many tax collectors and sinners came and were sitting with him and his disciples. And then the Pharisees, the jealous kind of religious ones, see this and they say, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" But Jesus says, "Those who are well have no need of a doctor, but those who are sick. I haven't come to call the righteous, but sinners." And there's this lovely kind of similarity between the story of David gathering those guys in the cave of Adullam, that motley crew of people who are distressed or in debt or discontent, and also Jesus, who targets the people that the rest of society don't want to know, the crooks, the sinners. He hangs out with prostitutes. Jesus goes and sits around and chats to and makes friends with the outcasts of society. Jesus is the one who surrounds himself with people who are in distress, in debt, and discontented. And I love this about Jesus. So often when we think about church, we think it's for the goodies, for the goody two-shoeses, for the ones who've already got it all together in their lives. But actually, when you read about Jesus, you realise that he spent all his time with the outcasts, with those who were completely on the margins, on the edges of society. And I was wondering, as I was kind of thinking about this, and I'm kind of getting to know Gould a bit, and I love Gould. We love Gould, don't we? We just love it here. But quite often, I must say, when I kind of chat to people who live here, I quite often hear people really talking themselves and the town down. Saying things about the town that I probably won't repeat on Facebook Live. I don't agree with those things, but I hear people saying them about the place that they've grown up and that they live. And I think Jesus might want to say to us as a town that the place where you have thought of yourselves as kind of on the edges, on the fringes, perhaps passed over, and other towns around and about getting more money, more investment. The roads are better in other places, we all know that, don't we? But perhaps the place where we have thought of ourselves as forgotten, thought of ourselves as on the fringes and on the edges, that is exactly the place that Jesus would be wanting to step into and to call people from. People who perhaps see themselves as marginalised, who are distressed, in debt and discontented. So I wonder whether you feel like that ever. Do you ever feel distressed Are you in debt? Are you literally struggling to know how you're going to sort out your money? Are you lying awake at night worrying about money? Have you got yourself into a situation that you don't know how to get yourself out of? Have you been wronged or mistreated by people? Jesus wants you in the cave, as it were. He wants to sit round the table with you at dinner. He wants to give you a purpose in your life. He wants to be the captain of the team that you're in. Jesus wants to welcome you. He wants to heal you. He wants to provide for you. And he wants to use you. He wants to give you a purpose in your life. He wants to, in a way, kind of I nearly said the wrong thing. Conscript you to his army. Jesus is the captain, and he's gathering an army of people, but they're not an army of people who are going to go out and do awful things. It's an army of people who are going to work for the goodness of the world, who are going to work for love and for truth and for peace and for reconciliation and for healing, because that is all the work of Jesus. I wonder whether there might be some people watching tonight who sometimes think, I wish my life could be worth something. I wish my life could be worth something. Well, you are worth something to Jesus. You are worth so much to him. And he would love to welcome you. He'd love to sit and eat with you, for you to get to know him, and for him to give you a purpose, to sign you up, as it were, into his army. The reason that Jesus does all this is out of love. He doesn't do it because he wants to manipulate. He doesn't do it because he wants to boss people around. He does it because he loves us. He does it because he sees us as worth something. He does it because he wants us to have a purpose in our lives and wants us to live our lives to the full. Is Jesus calling you? Is your distress or your debt or your discontentedness pushing you towards an encounter with Jesus? We would love to pray. So we'll just want to pray for you. If some of those things kind of apply to you, you might want to just take a moment. You might find it helpful if it's not kind of awkward to do this, the people that you're with, to just put your hands out, to close your eyes, and Johnny and I will pray for you. Father God, we thank you that you don't seek out the kind of most talented or the fastest runners or whatever it is, but you want ordinary people who are happy to encounter Jesus. I just want to pray for people who do feel distressed, who do feel stressed a lot, for people who are really worried about money, for people who have been wronged or mistreated and who feel bitter in their souls. Lord Jesus, would you meet with them? I think for some of you, God just wants you to know that he hasn't forgotten you. You've always thought that you've forgotten, but he has never forgotten you.
Lord, we thank you that you are the God who sees. You see us, you see our situations, you know us, and you love us. And we just pray, Lord, that, tonight that we look to you. Help us to look to you. Help us take that step towards you. And sometimes it's easier to take the step away from you. Yeah, and as well, Lord, we just pray that you call us into what you have for us. Amen.
Good.
Okay.
Johnny's just going to get ready. As he's getting ready, the word hope comes to mind. I just wonder whether one of you, two of you may just think, oh, I just feel hopeless. God just wants to give you hope for the future, and He says if you follow Jesus, your future is in His hands. Your future is sorted, and it's a good future. He's got it all for you, just sitting ready. So be confident in that. I'm going to swivel.
You give love, forgiveness, healing in the home. I hope I've never known. In you life is meaning, and I find that I am blessed. Lord, thank you for your love. Lord, thank you for your love. By the cross, I'm forgiven. By your death in your life, I am free. I'm no longer in shame, for you conquered the grave. I am I'm forgiven by your death.
Love that song. I think it's a great song. Well, we're coming towards the end. Next week, we're doing 24 hours of praying from Saturday night to Sunday night. Not everybody doing it having to pray for 24 hours because that'd be crazy, but people are signing up for an hour slot. And I'm doing a middle of the night one.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So I might be slightly bleary-eyed next Sunday night. But yeah, so we'll be praying. If there is stuff that you would love us to pray for during that 24 hours of prayer, just send us a direct message and we will so happily pray for your thing, whatever it may be.
Great.
Good. Great. That's us. We're finished.
The end.
I know, it always comes too quickly. But go well, everyone, and we'd love to connect with you, so be in touch if you'd like to. And have a great week.
Have a great week.
Bye.